What's up, y'all? It is your boy Dre41, and in this video I wanted to talk to you guys about who I believe would be the next AEW World Heavyweight Champion. So yeah, it's going to be Adam Page and Chris Jericho. Now, it can go one or two ways, of course, with any championship, with two people in it, regardless. So it can go the way of Hangman Adam Page, a new era, putting the company on his back. That's always an option. But is Hangman Adam Page a draw? Is he a top tier athlete? Is he a main eventer? Could you really book a company around him? Or is he an upper mid card guy? As far as drawing power, who knows where he really lands, because you haven't really seen him in the main event picture, ever. Chris Jericho, certified Hall of Famer, point blank. Can he sell out an arena? Is he still a draw? Yes. Do I think he can sell out an arena? I don't know. In 2019, maybe. I wouldn't say he's not upper mid. He's beyond upper mid card. I think he's like lower main event card. Maybe co-main event. He definitely has appeal to a lot of wrestling fans who might not know who Adam Page is, but people know who Chris Jericho is. So that's always a plus. But the one thing that you do got to look into is, is he's not in it for the long haul. Chris Jericho, says he had a 3-year deal? So he's not in it for the long haul. I think in the beginning, and another thing, he doesn't have a full-time schedule. He's not going to be on the show every week because AEW only is going to have one weekly show, 2 hours. They're not going to have live events. So you're only going to see these wrestlers wrestle once a week. And that's it. And they're not even going to have pay-per-views every month. Listen, this is so wild to me, like the whole AEW thing, but regardless of that, I feel like both of these guys will put on a performance. I do feel like that. But in regards to who should be the champion first, has to be Hangman. You have to put your company behind Hangman Adam Page. There's no other option, I do believe, that would be better for the company. I feel like Adam Page will be the guy who's there every week. Why put in Chris Jericho when he's not going to be there every week? He's not going to be on the full-time schedule, especially off the bat. I mean, there's going to be situations where he's going to be in storylines. Facts. I do know that he's not just going to do a one-off appearance and that's it and boom, it's over. I know for sure that he is going to, have a storyline. It's going to be a storyline, and he'll take some time off, come back, storyline, take some time off. Honestly, I see him within a 12-month range, probably wrestling for 7 months, maybe 6. Half the year. I don't see him wrestling full time. I truly do not feel like he needs to nor wants to. I don't even know if Chris Jericho is going to win a championship in AEW. I don't even know if he will. Honestly, I don't think he will. I do not think Chris Jericho will win a championship in AEW. I think he'll get wins, but I think his goal is to get new talent over. And any guy who's, later in his career who has a name should be doing that for the better of the company. Oh, and this Chris Jericho isn't mine. I didn't create this. I downloaded it from Community Creations. All I did was change the finishers up. I gave him that spinning back elbow that they have in the game. You got to run at him. It's the one. Shoot, I forgot his name. Well, it's the spinning back elbow that I use for a finisher for Chris Jericho. The arena that you see is available for download. The Adam Page is available for download. If you ask how to find it, honestly, you don't need to get it. I mean, come on. But yeah, like, just back to the subject at hand. I feel like Adam Page putting the strap on him will definitely help him. It would definitely give him the ability to make himself a bigger name, especially on TNT. Shoot, TNT themselves are going to put the rocket on him. Whoever, first off, Chris Jericho is going to be a top guy regardless. You need to put Adam Page as a main eventer. But another thing is like, okay, well, then he's going to have to be going up against Cody Rhodes. He's going to have to be going up against Kenny Omega, John Moxley. Anybody who's, the top tier in the heavyweight division. And that's not bad. It's just, they make them so much friends now where it's like they're friends wrestling each other. They got to break that up. They got to break up the quote-unquote elite. They got to break them up. For real. Like, just we know that they're friends, they're buddies, they're co-owners. We get it. But we got to break this up, Another thing with Adam Page is, I feel like it's the dude buster, basically, like that reverse tombstone. He got to dead that move. That move, I don't like it. Only some people take it good. Some people take it like crap. Like, it doesn't even look like their head hit the mat. And I know their head is not supposed to. They don't want to break their neck. Or, you know what I'm saying? But some people don't even take it good. So it's like, do a move where people can take it. Like that clothesline. Honestly, just use that. Use that clothesline and that's it. And you're good to go. You're good money. Just with that clothesline. Don't try to, use a move where you got to pick somebody up, because you're not going to be able to do that to everybody. And it's just like AJ Styles. He can't bang out the Styles Clash on everybody, which is completely understood, and that's okay. That's acceptable, honestly. You don't have to. He has that flying forearm. But the flying forearm is kind of trash, though. But Hangman definitely should use that clothesline, that lariat. That's definitely good. I don't know why they changed it from the rite of passage. They should have just kept it like that. See, like this move right here. I mean, it's a dude buster. It's not 100% like that, but it's the closest one they got in the game. Just the reverse tombstone to me just looks weird. Like, it doesn't make sense, really. Like, I don't know. Just to me, it doesn't make sense. But I really do see, like, star potential in Adam Page. I really do. And it might potentially, bringing Adam Page up in the ranks also brings Pac up in the ranks, because Pac almost took Hangman Adam Page out, quote unquote. Took Adam Page out, injured him, quote unquote. So him winning the championship, shoot, you already got another person right there to face off with him, and that's Pac. You know what I'm saying? So that's also another thing that might come into play if Hangman Adam Page, wins the AEW Championship. With Chris Jericho, it's like, he has to be the antagonist. He has to be chasing the good guy. Chris Jericho as the top guy being chased doesn't work, because he's the aggressor. Chris Jericho in AEW has to remain the aggressor. If he wins the championship, what is he going to do? Aggressively attack everybody? It just doesn't make sense. Because then he's not, I don't know, to me, it just doesn't make sense for him to win the championship. He's a top name, but he's not full-time. And I don't think you should want a guy who's not full-time as champion, because that's what WWE is doing. That's the Judas effect right there, that back elbow. I love that move right there. That's a good finisher to have, really. The pay-per-view, he didn't do it too well. I don't know. Maybe he needs to fall with it. If he fell with it, maybe it'll have more impact, I guess. Maybe. I'm guessing. But I would like to see Chris Jericho just remain as one of those top guys who will show up and just attack someone or whatever the case is, and you know what I'm saying, really just be an antagonist. That's it. We don't need him as the top guy, because he's already a top guy. A championship does nothing for Chris Jericho. To be completely honest, A championship does nothing for Chris Jericho. And anybody who thinks differently, please explain. You know what I'm saying? Within his storied career, there's really no reason to put a championship on him. At least that's what I think. Another thing with it is, you know, isn't Chris Jericho like going to New Japan? Doesn't he still have like a New Japan date or something like that? I'm pretty sure he does. So, you know, that needs to be handled. I think Adam Page needs to win. Pac needs to attack him. And that's where we go from there. And then from there, I don't know. It all depends because Pac is probably on some nonsense where he doesn't want to get beat. He wants to remain undefeated, can't be pinned or whatever the case is. And it's like, dog, come on, man. Like, eventually you know you got to lose. And I know when you're on a streak like that, a loss has to mean something. I completely get that. And honestly, it should be that way. But it shouldn't be a situation where a match doesn't happen because you don't want to get, you know, pinned. Like, come on, man. Just, okay, you're a champion. Eventually, you got to lose that championship. What's the point in holding a championship for over a year or almost pushing 2 years? What? Okay, you won match after match after match. Okay. What's next? You know what I'm saying? Like, a feud, there has to be a winner. In a feud, both men have to win and lose. Fact. Both men have to win and lose in a feud. It cannot be a one-sided feud because there's no interest in that. Because unless it's like the underdog, you know what I'm saying, where it's like, oh, could he beat him, or you know, something like that. But still, at the same time, it still has to be a situation where you either want one person to win, one person to lose, or you really want the underdog to win. And Adam Page is not an underdog. They're not gonna book him as an underdog. Like maybe the guy with like no legs or something, they'll book him as an underdog. Which honestly, the Over the Budget Battle Royal was cool. And I know I'm changing the subject now. The Over the Budget Battle Royal was cool. But a lot of those guys that they put in there are like one and done. Like special events. Like we're going to book you for this one thing. And that's it. Like we can't really use you. And I get it. Like what can you use with them? Like a guy who doesn't have, you know, legs. Can he be a champion? You know what I'm saying? Like it's a gimmick. It's a gimmick type of wrestler, and the longevity of that type of wrestler isn't very long. I mean, it eventually just gets what you're gonna fight some giant dude and make it look like a guy with no legs can beat a man 300 pounds. Like it just doesn't even sound right. It doesn't. So those are one and dones. It's cool that he won, you know, that Adam Page won. He's getting his title shot. And, you know, a heavyweight champion, Adam Page, I think will work. I truly believe, good reversal there, Chris Jericho. All right. I really feel like Adam Page should win. It opens the door for another feud. I'm pretty sure they already have another feud in mind. It's great that Kenny Omega and Jon Moxley are going to go at it. That's really good, and I'm happy to see Jon Moxley happy being himself, you know, as opposed to this unfringed, silly, crazy guy, which didn't really work. It kind of worked at times, but not, you know. Eventually, he's not a backyard wrestling, but he's like an extreme wrestler, like a hardcore wrestler, like Cactus Jack, Terry Funk, Sabu, Tommy Dreamer, Sandman. That's Jon Moxley. That's who he is. He has to be booked that way. Here's the issue. I don't know if Kenny Omega can really wrestle that style. I don't really think that's Kenny Omega's style at all, to be honest. But it still interests me to see what happens. It also interests me about the TV deal. You know, as you can see on the screen, it has a little TNT thing. Hopefully I don't get demonetized for that, because I created this arena and I'll put that TNT logo on there. YouTube is going to be like, this is property of whatever. And I'm like, no, I created this. Chill. Watch out. Don't do that to me. I already can't stream. Thanks a lot, YouTube. So I don't know. I might. Oh, another thing. You might not catch a live stream on here for a while. You're gonna have to follow my Twitch. For that. So yeah, it should be in the link in the description below. I'm gonna have to add that in there because yeah, YouTube is yeah. Well, I don't know. It's me. Shout outs to me. Subscribe to my channel. Big clothesline taking down Chris Jericho. So yeah, back to what I was saying. I really see Hangman Adam Page being. He has to. I mean, honestly, it's what's best for the company. The first champion can't be no pushover, so his run has to be great. His first run has to go a couple of months. I want to say 3-4 months. 3 or 4 months. That's not bad for an initial title run. I think that's really good. I want to see him just really go up against top tier athletes, and he has to beat him. He has to beat Kenny Omega. He has to beat Cody Rhodes. He has to beat Jon Moxley as champ. He has to. If you do anything less than that for him, it just does not make sense. It'll be You might as well put the title on Chris Jericho then. You know what I'm saying? Because he's an older, he's an older man. So I think he can eat a loss better than Adam Page. But if Adam Page eats a loss right after winning the championship, it's like, But I think the minds behind the curtain at AEW are smart enough to realize that, booking him to win and making him look like a champion it all goes together. You can't have one without the other. It can't be him winning the championship and losing non-title matches just to defend it and win it. It doesn't make sense. Whoever wins, and I honestly hope that it's Adam Page, but whoever wins has to go on a win streak. And to me, it just doesn't make sense for Chris Jericho because, once again, he's the antagonist. He chases the good guy. I don't think there's no real good reason for Chris Jericho to win the championship. I mean, once again, he's still going to be a face in the company. He has a 3-year contract. People who want to know what's going on with Chris Jericho, why Chris Jericho is there, they'll learn that point blank, with or without him having the championship. So I don't feel like that's even important. But as this match is coming to a close, I don't even know who has the lead, honestly. I'm hoping that it's Adam Page, but I feel like it's Chris Jericho. And also, the championship that you did see is available for download now on Xbox One. It is uploaded, so you guys should definitely get that. But yeah, I'm so interested in really seeing what happens with AEW. I'm ready for Tuesday Night Dynamite. I am ready to see them put on a wrestling show for adults. I'm ready to see that. I'll still watch WWE. I always will. I don't think there will be a time where I don't. I just feel like there has to be an alternative. And if their ratings are higher, I think initially it will be. I truly feel like their initial ratings will be higher than Raw. And then it will level out. But it all depends on the storyline. It all depends on how they treat the fans. If you treat us like a PG product, we will be uninterested and we will not watch. But if they do what they did at Double or Nothing, I feel like they'll be very successful and they'll push WWE to be successful too. But here you go. Hangman Adam Page, I feel like, will be the inaugural AEW champion. What do you guys think? You think it will be Adam Page? You think it will be Chris Jericho? Let me know in the comment section below. Other than that, like, subscribe, comment. Catch you in the next video. Later.